So I watched this documentary about Bill Gates, and it was about his life now and then what he was doing in the future. And in the interview, he said how actually his wife said how he goes outside and he like paces. And I went for a walk today, and I went to the park, and I was really thinking about something. I'm like, I'm gonna try pacing, and I paced for a while. There's no one around either, which was nice. And I paced for a while, and I came up with something awesome, something that just made a whole bunch of stuff click together all at once. And I like literally screamed out when I thought it up, because I was so happy that I had figured that out and got that out. And what it was, or figured it out, I guess. What it was is how the base layer of this suit is going to work. If you've been following this for a minute, you know that I've talked about using, like having, essentially stringing Kevlar in between the metal components of the suit to fill in the gaps with Kevlar. What I realize I'm going to do instead is I'm going to have a base layer that's made entirely out of Kevlar, and think like almost like a crash suit for a race car driver, or think like an escape suit for like NASA rocket escape suit. And the reason I want you to think that is because those things have a ring at the top. They're a soft suit with a ring at the top, and then they have a whole bunch of other shit in them too. And if the rocket loses pressure, those things will fill up with air and you'll turn into a big balloon, and then you'll have that hard helmet. And that ring attaches to the helmet. And that's exactly how my suit's going to work, minus the filling up with pressure part. There'll be a little bit of pressure, but it won't be very much. There'll be a ring that comes up and it attaches to the helmet, and it'll have like a seal that'll be a soft seal. It won't really have a seal. It'll just be very close tolerance in fitting. And it'll still be able to open and close, and it'll have the same seal. And then at the very back of the unit, there's going to be a big fan pulling air through a filter and pushing it into the helmet. And that'll keep my head nice and cool, keep lots of oxygen coming into my head. It'll be vents that bring it down over my eyes and stuff and keep things from fogging up. I'll have lots of oxygen. There'll be the holes in the front, which will be a vent out for the positive pressure to escape a little bit. And that can be modulated by changing, like putting filters over it to kind of change how much back pressure it produces. And then hopefully some air will also move down through the suit that is going to be made out of Kevlar. And then there will likely be a base layer, or a lining essentially, that may be a flammable material. It'll be the only like flammable material I allow into it, and that'll be underneath the Kevlar, which will be flame proof and flame retardant. And it is literally going to be aluminized Kevlar, which is what they use to make fireproof suits. Those big shiny flame retardant suits are made out of aluminized Kevlar, and that's what that is going to be. And it's going to hook in, and there's a spot where it hooks in to the back of the suit and then the front, and the ring comes up and attaches, and then everything will come together, and then the faceplate will form the front seal. Let me bring you upstairs and show you that ring in CAD. I have everything but the back piece made of that. I'll show you what it looks like, and I'll show you how it works. Alright guys, and here I am in the suit, or in the helmet. You'll notice this is mostly the same as yesterday. There's those things for the mesh mouth part, and then here's the piece to hold the glass for the eye. This is new right in here. This straight bar coming across through here is no longer angled down because I want it to line up, because it lines up with this inner bar, which is this bar right here. And this bar, you can see, goes over the top of this one right here. And what that does is, as I turn these off, will make this bar, this is the bar right here, this is the part that will be actually attached to the fabric base layer. And so this is, I haven't completed the back yet, just because I haven't completed the back of the suit, so I'm not entirely sure how it's lining up yet. Well, I need to match this to the back of the head, and I haven't built the back of the head, so that's why it's not there. But you get an idea of how it goes, and if I come from the top, you'll see this is my head right here, and you'll see that this is, that there's more than enough, and as you can see right here, there's more than enough room for this to go around your head without hitting it. Cat's eating the wallet that I threw at him. Anyway, So this will go around the head, and then there'll be a bolt that goes right here, and this bolts to right here. Ooh, I hope I can get in there. I might have to switch that and make it come in the other direction, invert those so that I can actually get in. Because let me see something. Yeah, so when this front piece comes on, this covers it up. But if I put it down here, I can still get into it as long as the hood is up. So I got to flip those because the bolt hole's right about there. Unless I had a really small or very bent screwdriver, which is a pain in the ass, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So I'll switch that to where that bolt hole goes right through here instead, which is a pretty easy fix, and then that will come all the way around there. And again, this will be part of the suit, so I can get out, walk around in this Kevlar suit, whatever. There'll probably be a zipper I get into the back, which is how spacesuits actually work. And then you zip back up into the back, you step into it, and then like stand up into it, and someone zips you up. And then this bar will come in, and one bolt will go through, and then that will form the seal. And then when the front part comes down and forward, this will come over the top of this bar, and that'll form a seal of sorts with the front of the suit. And then so there'll be fabric just going down, and there'll be like a big roll of fabric, and this will kind of be big for the neck, and then it'll taper down to something like here. And then yeah, it'll come all the way out. It'll have gloves, it'll have feet pads. And by feet pads, I mean some kind of silicone that'll be molded and then glued to like essentially a sock. So it'll be like a giant onesie. It'll have everything. Like I said, it'll have the gloves, it'll have all that in it. Most likely, I guess it could go on. The gloves could be a separate part that are made and then like Velcroed on or something like that. That's actually kind of how they make the. That might be the best way to do that. So maybe the gloves come off. I'm not sure about the shoes. The shoes could go over it too. I don't know about that one. That's interesting. I definitely want them to be flame retardant, so I can make it as a onesie. Maybe I'll keep the shoes attached, and then I'll have the gloves where they can come off. That's how they did the spacesuits anyway. They had metal rings that they attached, and then they swiveled. So I might do something like that. But that's the basic idea, though, is that there's going to be a single base layer with a ring that's going to bolt in, and that is going to be a perfect flame retardant base layer all the way around me. Be made out of Kevlar, extra armor. It'll be silver to match the suit. It's going to be really, really, really cool. I'm really excited for that. I think this is really good news. I think this is the best way to do this for sure. So, really happy about it. Big breakthrough. Good day. Love you guys. Smash the subscribe button.